Hi everyone. In this video I will be trying 5 different art techniques. Now these are not just any old methods of doing art or displaying art because I picked a few art techniques which you may not be knowing. Well, even I didn't know a few of these until I saw them on the internet and they really are very fun and interesting. So let's find out which amazing art techniques I will be trying today. So the first art technique we'll be trying today is mandala art. I really enjoy mandala art because you can create or draw any type of pattern up to your choice. And you also don't have to really follow any specific rules. Mostly I've seen people fill their drawings with patterns as in mandala art, but here in this video I will be just drawing a simple pattern both in black and using colorful markers. So it's up to you to decide what you want to use to create your design. Over here I'll be using markers and a pen. So let's get into drawing. Over here for this mandala art pattern, I used a circle stencil for drawing the circles because I wanted them to be neat. You can also freehand them, but using a stencil would be better. If you don't have a circle stencil, you could also use a coin. So some people, they also use stencils for their whole project, like creating a whole pattern. Over here, I just freehanded it. If you want to do it, if you want to create a mandala art pattern on cloth or other types of surfaces, you could use a stencil for cloth. Here are some tips for making a stencil. First, take a piece of paper and sketch out your pattern. Then trace it onto a piece of clear plastic and then cut it out using a craft knife. Later, place the clear plastic on top of your cloth and then just use some leather paint and paint over it. After it's dried up for a few minutes, because we don't want to take it as soon as you put the pattern or it could get destroyed. So after a few minutes, just take the stencil off and let it dry. It would be most recommended to use leather paint as the cloth would be nice and stretchy. So this is the tips for making your own stencil, and this is for if you're gonna put a mandala pattern on a cloth. Now I'm going to be trying scrunch paper art. It's basically what its name sounds like. So you scrunch a piece of paper and dip it in paint and create different types of textures. So here mine may look a bit like a blob, but later I will define it with a pen. So here I was actually going for a painting of a rose. Later in the end I did define it with a pen. And I recommend using scrunch paper art for abstract paintings because in my opinion, trying to paint something in particular using this art technique would be a bit tricky. Now I'll be trying foam art. So to make this type of art, you need a mug, some hand wash, water and paint. So first start off by pouring hand wash in your mug and then pour some cold water. Let it fill until there's foam in your mug. Later take some paint and mix it with the foam. Then take a piece of paper fitting the mug. Dip it in and take it out with some foam. Let it sit for 15 minutes until the foam is completely gone. After that, in the end, you will be left with a foam print on your piece of paper. You can create different scenes like a galaxy, the sky, or even use it as a background to your drawings and paintings. Now I will be trying finger painting. It may sound a bit childish, but you can actually create masterpieces with just your finger and paint. But over here I will be doing something simple because I don't want to keep dipping my fingers in the paint because the paint may not come off. So I'll stick to keeping this quick. One thing you can do so that the paint comes off once you wash your hands is you can dilute the paint with some water, but that could decrease the intensity of the paint and make the color a bit dull. Now I will be trying shadow art. I actually haven't seen many people do this. I was only aware of this after a video of a really great artist who uses shadows of the most common stuff to make drawings came up on YouTube. So shadow art is like using the shadow of different objects to draw things and animations or even characters. As far as I've seen, people use it as the body of their drawing. Here again, I will be keeping this very simple. Actually, this is going to be very cool and interesting because this is actually only the second time I'm trying this. The things you need to make this is paper, something to write with, and of course a shadow of an object. Over here I'm using the shadow of my eraser. Since the shadow is in the shape of rectangle, I thought I could turn this into a dining table. So I put the plates and the fork and knife. I drew it on and I also drew the chairs. I didn't outline the shadow of the dining table because I wanted it to look like the shadows being the body of the